welcome on in to another episode of Getting Wild with Terry and Friends. I'm Terry, Nick beside me, Ryan down below. We are ready to break down some Thursday hockey. The chat is bumping so far to start, so we'll jump right into that. Isaac says, get ready, ladies and gents. It's a beautiful time once again to fade the boosts. And his first boost is Lightning, Bruins, Canadiens, and Maple Leafs all to win. I can confirm that I am on none of those four teams.
I'm on all of those.
The second boost is Ovi to score 2+ goals. After getting number 800, after getting the hat trick last game, this could be a spot where Ovechkin doesn't do anything, but he could also come out for a what is it called? Curtain call, yeah, and just come and just score the first couple minutes of the game. I could see that too. So, good luck to you if you're fading that. Bruins, Canes, Lightning, all to win. Again, I'm not on any of those teams. I like the first one and the third one. All right. Montreal sketches me out. Yeah, go ahead.
BetOnline has some boost too as well. They've got one with the Canadiens puck line, with the Oilers puck line, and there's another one as well. So they're tempting us. The books are tempting us today.
Yeah, and I know everyone like Isaac loves to fade boosts. For me, I will bet a boost if I really like everything that is in the boost. Then I will bet it. But I'm not going to go to bet a boost just because it's there, because that's definitely how you lose money.
Mm-hmm.
J-Stone 9 says, Montreal sketches me out. Yes, a lot of people liked Montreal yesterday. I was not on them. For me, I cannot trust the Montreal Canadiens. I've taken my stabs with them, including that game against Vancouver where they had a huge lead. And then obviously they blew that. And after that, I was like, okay, that's it. Kind of like a certain baseball team. That's it. I'm done with them for the year anyway. And Nick knows what I'm talking about.
There's a difference between the Canadiens and the baseball team. But I was actually looking at the boost that Ryan was mentioning. One boost on BetOnline makes absolutely no sense. It's 2 goal scorers. One's Austin Matthews. Fine, all cool. The other one is Sebastian Aho, who is not playing.
He's injured.
Yeah, they did that yesterday with one of Isaac's boosts. It had Dylan Larkin to score.
Yeah.
Which is a little bit weird because he was announced out the night before. And Aho has been out for a while. So do they just throw these things together, or I don't know. But,
they don't know what they're doing. Yeah, they don't know what they're doing.
Apparently. Let's Go Sabres says hello. Good luck. I've bet against all of them pre-boost, past in the Montreal game. Terry, the Minnesota jersey is safe from the fire pit for now. Bro, do you know how hard it is for me to rub that jersey and chant "Let's go fucking Wild"? Well, hey, I'm glad the Wild came through for you. Also for me, the first time I make them a 5-star play, and now I'm 5-0 on my 5-star plays. The Wild came through for me, so I was super happy about that. Let's Go Sabres with Tim by himself. What's up? LOL, joking. Sup, Icex. Did you see Thompson Draisaitl to get a point boost? Who was the other guy? And I think that's still Tim, but who knows? I don't look or pay attention to what the boosts are other than parlay boosts. Icex loves doing so. Draisaitl doesn't get a point, and I don't know. I get it, but I don't use those as information in my capping by any means. Icex, yeah. Icex is different. He definitely caps differently than other people, but he did make his picks in the morning before the boosts. Enough about boosts. We'll move in to the slate today. We'll start with the first 4 games that we have on the slate here. And we'll just go through them as a group. Columbus and Tampa Bay. I'm on the over. I got the over at +100. I put this up as a free play on Picks and Parlays. The over in this game. That was before goalies were announced. Either goaltender was announced. I saw Brian Elliott confirmed, and I was happy. And I'm like, okay, Elliott versus Merzlikins. This is going to be fun. But unfortunately, Merzlikins is not confirmed. It'll be Danil Tarasov. But I still like the over here. Columbus is scoring, Tampa is scoring quite a bit right now. They are the number one home scoring team in the NHL, and I expect them to score some goals here against Columbus. And with Brian Elliott in net, I think it's possible Columbus could put up 2 or 3. And if we get 3 goals from Columbus, this game's going over. So I like the Columbus Tampa over 6.5. Pittsburgh, Florida. I like the Penguins here. I get it. Florida's a good home team, but Pittsburgh 11-1-1 in their last 13 games. They are just playing excellent hockey. They will be without Jason Zucker. Bobrovsky will be in net for Florida, and Matthew Tkachuk is a game-time decision. If Matthew Tkachuk does not play, expect Pittsburgh to move to minus 120, I would assume. I think it'll be a big movement towards Pittsburgh. I already got them at plus money. If you can get them at plus money, take the Penguins. I get it. Florida's a good home team, but Pittsburgh is playing so well right now. I have to continue to back them, especially at this good of a price. Philadelphia and New Jersey is a complete pass for me. I'm not getting involved. Devils on a bit of a skid here. I get it. Philadelphia is a perfect team to face when you're on a skid because they are losing hockey games. But I want to see the Devils go back to the Devils we all know. So I'm currently off them. I may get to a player point parlay after the show, which I may include Jack Hughes or Nico Hischier in that. But otherwise, that game is a total pass for me. Then the final one there, LA and Boston. I'm going to be a little bit different than everybody else. I know a lot of people like Boston in regulation, but I'm taking the draw on this one. The last 4 meetings in Boston between these two teams have gone to overtime. LA is actually 3-0-1 in those games, so they played well. I get it, the Kings, not really a team anybody wants to back right now. But I think Boston is a little bit overpriced, and I think we can get a closer game than people expect in this one. So I am taking the draw. However, I am totally prepared for Boston to win by multiple goals because they've done that all year long. So it'll either be a Boston in a rout or I'll get my draw, I think. So we'll see how that goes. Nick, the first 4 games on the slate, what do you think about them?
Yeah, I really like this slate today. The first game here, it does make me a little nervous that it is Tarasov rather than Merzlikins. Merzlikins I have as one of the worst graded goalies in the NHL right now. But with that being said, I do like the over in that game. I got it at minus 105. I think that's a good price here, even with Tarasov, which Tarasov has been meh. He's slightly below average, so he's not somebody that completely scares me off the over. I would have definitely preferred Merzlikins rather than Tarasov, but it is what it is. Even with Tarasov in that, I think this game goes over. And I also grabbed Tampa Bay team total over 4.5 at plus 135 because I was really preparing for Merzlikins in this game. So I don't like the 4.5 as much or the team total as much with Tarasov in that, but it is what it is. The next one there, Pittsburgh and Florida. I did a free pick video on this one for ESB. I took Pittsburgh minus 101. They have them projected 3.64 to 2.85. The Panthers have not been playing well as of late. Defensively, they've struggled, and that's something that Pittsburgh's really played well in the last few games. They've been playing really well defensively. They've been winning games in general. They've been outplaying teams. They have the goalie advantage. I see them as the wrong team favorite in this one. I grabbed Pittsburgh for that second game there. The third game here, the Devils look human. They really do. I think Philadelphia is a live underdog in this game. I have them projected to win. I'm not going to bet Philadelphia to win the game outright. What I did grab was the under 6 because I have this game projected for 5.31 goals. I also grabbed New Jersey's team total under 3.5 at plus 115. So I do think there's some value there for a lower scoring game with a team total under with New Jersey, and you're getting a nice price because they are minus 280 favorites. And I could see this game defensively. Philadelphia's been fine. They've been decent defensively. Carter Hart struggled a little bit as of late, but I could see him having a decent game here tonight. So I like the team total under for the Devils and the full game under for that one. And then LA Boston, this one was pretty simple for me. I have this game projected 4.11 to 2.04 in favor of Boston. I grabbed Boston at the -1 line. I got it last night at -139. I think it's up to around the -150 range for the -1 line. I don't know if I'd play them now at that price. You'll probably have to full puck line them here. But I do see them winning by multiple goals in this one. The Kings are a team I'm looking to fade down the stretch because their goaltending, until they improve their goaltending, because Jonathan Quick and Phoenix Copley isn't going to cut it here, especially against the Boston Bruins. So I grabbed the Bruins -1 there for the last game.
All right. Ryan, first 4 games on the slate. What do you think about them?
Okay, well, I'm glad that these are all grouped together because there's 2 here that I want to parlay together, and it's 2 teams that have been making me money, and I want to keep riding them. One is the Lightning. The price is expensive, and the goalie matchup doesn't thrill me with Elliott in goal. And Tarasov, we just don't know. He's only started twice in the last 7 weeks or something, so we really don't know. But Tampa Bay's playing well. They're at home. I think they win this game handily. So I want to parlay them with New Jersey here. And that's because I've been fading Philadelphia, and I think I'm going to continue to fade Philadelphia. They're not playing well, and they got D'Angelo is likely going to be out of the lineup again, and they just don't have the depth at the blue line to have a veteran defenseman be out. So not only they're not playing well, but they're having personnel issues. And I understand that New Jersey doesn't look like in their best form, but I think this is a good bet. You get it around -120 to parlay those 2 together on the money line. Pittsburgh and Florida, I'm on the under in this one. I think Florida is a little bit better with Barkov in the lineup now. They're a little bit better team. I don't want to back them. I also agree with the sentiment on Pittsburgh. I think they're worth a bet potentially here. But I like Tristan Jarry. I think he's top 3, top 5 goalie in the league right now. And I like my under riding that price with Tristan Jarry. I think it's going to be sweaty. Both Pittsburgh is good defensively. Florida gets involved in higher scoring games. So I think this is a 4-2 game that does squeak under, but I like the under here. And I'm laying off LA and Boston.
All right. Yeah, I think if Matthew Tkachuk doesn't play, that will help your under as well, because he is a big piece of their offense. We will jump in and look at the second 4 games on the slate here. The first one up being 2 teams on winning streaks. We have the Toronto Maple Leafs and the New York Rangers. Toronto -120, Rangers +110. 6s for the most part there. And I have the draw in this one, Toronto and New York. I think we get a overtime game, a very close game between these two. I lean with Toronto as a side. I won't bet against Toronto right now, but the Rangers are winning as well, and I could see them winning this game. So for me, give me overtime. I think I got it at +320 in that one. And I'm going to sound like a broken record for Dallas, Washington, but once again, I'm taking the draw. I got it for +320. Dallas, not as much this year, but in previous years, they have been able to go to overtime quite a bit compared to other teams. Coming off a 2-0 win against Washington in the last meeting in Dallas. But if you look at what Dallas does when they go to Washington, and that's a win. For some reason, the Dallas Stars love to go to Washington. 9-1 in the last 10 games in Washington, 11-2 in the last 13. And this has been with good Washington teams for quite a bit now, quite a bit of time. So Dallas has their success in Washington. So I am also on Dallas money line. I think we get a close overtime game that I'll have to sweat out. and then Dallas will win in the extra overtime session. Seattle and Carolina is a complete pass for me. I've loved backing the Kraken, especially at plus prices. I've loved backing the Kraken on the road, but I don't really like what I'm seeing from the Kraken as of late. Martin Jones will be in net against Kochetkov. I do like what I've seen from Kochetkov. I backed Carolina against the Islanders, never a doubt. I took the under in Carolina against who did they face their last game? I can't remember. Detroit. It was a 1-0 Detroit. I took the under 6 in Carolina and Detroit. Finished 1-0. So if I had to bet something this game, I'd be looking at backing Carolina in some form. Maybe Seattle team total under, but the Kraken have an offense that can sometimes show up. So this game is ultimately a pass for me. And Anaheim and Montreal, another pass. I am not going to be backing the Ducks. I don't care what price they are. And I'm not going to be backing Montreal either because they let me down when I bet on them for the most part. And I'm not taking them at minus 150. So other games on the board, I don't mind being selective. And Anaheim Montreal is a game that was a very easy pass for me. So we'll go to Ryan first this time. The second 4 games on the slate. What are your thoughts about them?
Okay, so I'm on the Rangers here, and part of it, I'll concede it's a personal bias, and that is that I have been backing the Rangers in this little winning streak and have been winning some money. So maybe it had been different if it had been otherwise, had I been back in the Toronto. But the Rangers have won 4 in a row, and Shesterkin's won all 4 of them. They're home underdogs, and I'm going to ride them. That seems like a nice price, and I just need to keep rolling the dice with the Rangers as long as they're going to pay off for me. I like this under in Dallas and Washington. Both teams are trending under in recent form. I think there's some things to look out for Washington. They keep leaning on Lindgren. Darcy Kemper may be coming back, but we may be getting this. I'm forgetting the guy's name, but the Caps have another goalie in their roster. I wonder if we see him. I don't know if they've announced Lindgren tonight yet, but I'm looking out for that.
Yeah, it is Lindgren.
It is Lindgren?
Yep.
Yeah, so for me, the play is on the under, and as a little bit of a hedge on that, I'm going to be playing some Dallas shot props. They put up a ton of shots, and I just I think they'll continue to do that here. I'm off Seattle and Carolina. I don't think Seattle's playing that poorly. I think they're just going up against a lot of really good and hot teams, and you're going up against Tampa Bay, and they're coming up against Kochetkov here, and he's on fire. So I'm laying off, but sometimes teams get on losing streaks because they're of the matchups. So I think that's what's happening with Seattle right now. I cannot make any case for Anaheim. Like if you look at their record, they've only beaten San Jose on the road this year. They've lost every other road game this year. So there's just no case to be made for Anaheim. And I think Montreal is safe as a parlay piece or for regulation bet. There's just no case to be made for Anaheim. And, I think it's a flat spot for them towards the end of a road trip as well.
All right. Nick, 4 games, second 4-game slate of the slate. What do you think?
Yeah, one of my favorite plays today is in that first game, and that's the Maple Leafs. This is a team that I stupidly bet against them last time only because there was a plus 420 on the other side. Other than that, I wouldn't have bet against them. This is a bet-on team going forward with this Maple Leafs team because defensively they've been very responsible, and they're getting all their big players to play responsible defensive hockey. Like we've seen Marner playing defensive pretty well, Matthews, Nylander, they've all been playing good defensive hockey as well, and which has led to them not giving up many chances in their last few games. And that's one thing that I've noticed with the Rangers is that they've given up at least 3 expected goals against in 8 of their last 10 games. So defensively, they've not been great. And 3 of the last 4 games, they're not generating much. And yeah, they've won the games, but they I feel like they just ran into some bad goaltending during that time because they had in their last 4 games, which are all wins. 1.72, 1.7, 2.63, and 1.9 expected goals for, which means that they're not getting high danger chances. They're just the shots they're throwing at the net are getting by these what seem to be sieves of goaltenders, apparently, because they just haven't impressed me lately. Their advanced metrics are not very good. And when we look at Toronto, their advanced metrics have been awesome lately. So I'm going to continue to ride with the hot hand there with Toronto, who hasn't lost in regulation in 15 games. Prop you want to get on for Toronto? I feel like if we're going to be mentioning props, there's no other name you have to say other than Mitchell Marner, who has scored a point in 29 of 30 games for them this year. You can get him to score a goal at $2, which I think is a great price to him. I get it. He's going up against Shesterkin tonight, but over 1.5 points is plus 160 something, and him to score a goal is plus 200. If I'm playing props in that game, it's Mitchell Marner. In the second game here, it's tricky because I have this game projected out for a draw for Dallas and Washington. I think Washington's going to go on a run here because their advanced analytics are showing me similar to what I saw with like the Devils in the beginning of the season, where I said if they get competent goaltending, they're going to win games. Yeah, that's what we've seen from Washington on a 5-game win streak here. I do think that this line is correct, and I bet numbers. I don't bet teams if I bet teams, I would be on the Capitals in this game. But I think this line's correct in this one. I think the Stars should be slight favorites. So I'm not leaning towards anything in that game. Lean towards an under, if anything. That's all of a 0.29 goal edge though on the under, so not enough for me to pull the trigger there. But I think Washington's a team to look forward to be a bet on team going forward. Seattle and Carolina, the opposite of what I was about to say with Washington, I'm going to say with Seattle here. And I think Seattle may have overperformed in the beginning of the season here. They were good in the beginning. They were a nice plus money team. I made some money on them in the beginning of the season. And now I feel like we're starting to see that goaltending situation in Seattle come back down to earth. Martin Jones is starting to look like the Martin Jones we all know and love. And Grubauer has not been very good since leaving Colorado. And this team defensively has given up at least 3.5 expected goals in 4 of their last 5 games. So they've struggled defensively. Granted, they have been playing better competition. I will give them that. Part of those games, Tampa Bay, Florida, Washington, Montreal, which can be tricky at times. Florida, Washington. So they have been playing better competition. So I can see that as why they may be struggling a little bit here. But I do expect a little bit of regression here from the Seattle Kraken. I got involved with the Canes at the -1 line at -128 because I think the Hurricanes, what they're showing me is they're a bet on team going forward. Elite defensively, they've been elite the last little bit here. They've only given up more than 2.5 expected goals against in 1 of their last 7 games, and that was against LA. LA is a team that shoots the puck a lot and creates a lot of opportunities offensively, so that's understandable. So this is a Carolina Hurricanes team I'm looking to bet on going forward because they're starting to get into form. I think they found their goaltender of the future with Pyotr Kucherov here. So I'm on Carolina there. And I grabbed this Montreal line early yesterday, and I wouldn't play it now at the price I got on the money line at the very least because I got him at -135 yesterday. And they went all the way up to -150, -160 today. If you're going to play them, you have to regulation line them. You have to -1 them, something along those lines. I have them projected to win this game by a solid 0.9 goals. So I like them a lot in this game. The Ducks are a bet against team going forward for me, and they've been all season long. I think I said this about a week and a half in. I keep joking around about this, that Zegras and Bedard are going to be awesome together. I just want to see those two together also as well because I think that would be a lot of fun on one line. But yeah, this is a spot here where even on a back-to-back, Montreal's been fine on back-to-backs. I think they've played 4 this year and they've won 3 of them. So this is not a team that's bad on back-to-backs. I think this line should be more towards where it is now, -160, rather than the 135 I got it at yesterday. So I'm on Montreal there, but I wouldn't play it now.
All right. Yes, Kev says Oshie coming back has helped him quite a bit.
And Orlov as well, and they should be getting back Wilson back in about a week.
Fair RV too. There's a lot of guys.
Yeah. And then they get when they get Kemper back, fully healthy, the Washington Capitals are a playoff team. And I know I'm on an island saying that, but fully healthy, this Washington Capitals team is really good. I like them a lot.
I see them as a bubble team.
Yeah, a bubble team, a wild card team. I didn't say that. I don't think they're going to win the division or anything along those lines, but they're a team that can steal a playoff round.
Back to your comment about Bedard and Zegras, which, yes, you have said many times already so far this year. The Ducks can be as bad as they want, but you still have to win the draft lottery. Yep. And yes, I'm hoping that Bedard goes to the Eastern Conference, obviously, but I don't see the team finishing last getting Bedard. I think it'll be one of those draft lotteries that there have been plenty of, where the team that people don't think will get it, that will upset everybody, will end up winning it. So we'll see what happens there. For me, I want the draw, Toronto Rangers. Nick wants Toronto. Ryan wants the Rangers. Somebody's going to be happy tonight. Hopefully,
it'll be a good game too.
Yeah, it is. That's why I like the draw, because I think it's going to be a great game to watch. We'll go to the final 4 games of the night. We have the Nashville Predators plus 146, Winnipeg minus 149, total of 6 there. A pass for me. I've liked backing Winnipeg. I went with them against Vegas. Obviously, they didn't come through. This should be a good bounce back spot for them again, but I kind of thought they'd bounce back last game. So I'm not going to lay the minus 149, which is the best price you can get for them. I'm sure they go up to minus 160 in other places. So not really interested in that Jets game. You could go for them in regulation, but this could be a potential draw spot. So ultimately a pass for me. Vegas and Chicago. Pass. Another pass for me. Obviously, I will be watching that game to see what happens. Chicago will be in Minnesota tomorrow. Soderblom is starting tonight, which means I expect Mrazek to start tomorrow. But of course, Vegas could beat up on Chicago. We could get a goalie pull. Who knows what could happen in this game. But I would only look towards Vegas if I was betting this game. Vegas puck line plus 130. I know Vegas has injuries, but they're still finding ways to win. That puck line at plus 130 is kind of catching my eye with Vegas, but ultimately nothing at this moment. Buffalo and Colorado. Everybody that has watched the show, obviously before, knows that when I look at NHL, one of the stats that I love to look at is teams' previous meetings against other teams. Obviously, I mentioned it. Dallas plays very well in Washington. Buffalo has lost the last 8 games they played against Colorado. They've won 1 of the last 10 games in Colorado. They've been absolutely dominated by this Colorado team for years. However, this Colorado team, as it currently stands at this moment, is not the same Colorado team it's been the last few years. Without Landeskog, without McKinnon, without Manson, without Byram, without Darren Helm, who's a depth player, but still they have other injuries. And this Buffalo team leads the NHL in goals for. That's not a joke. Buffalo leads the NHL in goals for. And they are plus 165. I had to take the Sabres in this spot. I had them last game against LA. LA was absolutely dominating Buffalo the first 2 periods of the game. I was worried about my Buffalo Sabres bet. And then the Sabres score 6 goals in the 3rd period and showed I had no reason to be worried whatsoever. Obviously, that's not going to happen here against Colorado, I don't think. But Buffalo plus 165 against the speed-up Avalanche team, I had to take it, even going against their huge struggles against Colorado. I think they end that losing streak, that 8-game losing streak tonight. And St. Louis and Edmonton, I could only back Edmonton in this spot. Not getting involved, though. Another pass for me on the slate. I know it's a huge NHL slate today, 12 games, and I don't really have a whole lot. But going lighter on the slate because I don't overly love it. So not going to force plays. And that's basically it for me for hockey. Nick, final 4 games on the slate. What are your opinions about them?
Nashville, Winnipeg, I passed on. This was one of those games where I think just the line was spot on. I think I had this around like 5.96 goals, and it was a 6 or something like that. And I think the spread, the projected margin for me in this game suggested the line that it is at. So there wasn't really enough for me to go ahead and bet that game. Vegas and Chicago is a fun one here. I grabbed the under 6.5 in this game. I have this game projected for 5.99 goals. I do think that this could be a lower scoring matchup here. Soderblom has been the better of the two goalies between him and Mrazek. So I do think that there is a spot here where he can have a decent game. And this game finished 4-1 because we know that the Blackhawks have struggled offensively. So I do think that the Blackhawks under 6.5 is worth a look there. And the two more games there with the Colorado and Buffalo. I had this game projected more towards a minus 120, minus 125 range for the Avalanche. So I took the Sabres at plus 166. I took the under 6.5 because I have this game projected for 5.89 goals. Defensively, since Cam Talbot, he's an elite goaltender there.
Tim, do you want to get put on timeout? Because I'll put you on a 5-minute timeout.
Yeah, no, the elite goaltending of Cam Talbot. I have this game projected more like a minus 120, so I took a shot at there. And then I know that the Buffalo Sabres have been a great over team all year long, but this is a different Colorado style of offense that they're playing. I 100% agree with that. They're under 6.5. The last 4 games, the most amount of expected goals against Colorado has given up is 2.24, and they've played some decent offensive teams: Boston, New York, St. Louis. Philadelphia is not the greatest, but they've been able to play lower scoring games, and I think we're going to start to see that as a trend until they get their players back. This Colorado team is going to play more towards unders. So I grabbed the Sabres. I grabbed the Colorado that game. I grabbed the Sabres money line and under 6.5. And the last one here, St. Louis and Edmonton. This was one of those where I was waiting for goalie confirmations to pull a trigger on. So I didn't make a play on this game during the Earl Sports Bet show this morning, but I did afterwards when I saw the confirmation of Stuart Skinner, because I was looking for Skinner here to give to bet the Oilers -1 at -107. If it was going to be Campbell, I was going to take the over. That was kind of the way I was going to approach that game. So also, this is the front end of a back-to-back for the St. Louis Blues. They play tomorrow as well. They play in Calgary, so they get both the Alberta teams today and tomorrow. It's going to be, I think, a little bit of a rough road trip for St. Louis. As much as I like them heading into the season, their goaltending has just not been good. So I have the Oilers -1 there, and I lean towards the Oilers team total over. But that's where I ended off on this slate. Was Oilers -1.
All right. Tim Smith asks for props.
Marner.
I have not given out any today because I am a bit cold in my props, so I'm just completely sticking off them for now. But yeah, Nick likes Mitch Marner props, which as your picture is a Toronto Maple Leaf logo. So I'm sure we don't have to tell you about Mitch Marner.
Yeah,
I'm sure you know quite a bit about him. Tim obviously likes the Sabres props, but Sabres do lead the NHL in the goal scoring. Thompson goal +120. If you're getting plus money with Thompson to score, that's not a bad look the way he's played this year. Tim says, who is in goal for Buffalo tonight?
UPL.
Last time I checked, there was nobody confirmed, but
it's confirmed UPL.
Okay, there we go. Ryan, the final 4 games on the slate. What are your opinions?
Yeah, I'm off this first game. I rode Winnipeg for a while, then rode them while they lost a couple games. So I'm going to be on the sidelines for this one. Perhaps looking at Winnipeg shot props because Nashville gives up a lot of shots. I'm also off Vegas, Chicago. I took a stab on the Blackhawks in their last home game. You know, they've lost 8 home games in a row now. You know, at some point they're going to win. They're going to win one of these games. But I just don't have the appetite to put any money on them. I'm going to go against Terry and Nick and Tim, and I don't know how to say your handle, DX Filer. I'm going against everybody, and I'm on the Avalanche in regulation, which is roughly even money. And they're taking baby steps. They're getting healthier. Evan Rodriguez is now skating with the team. That top line isn't really doing as much production with Nichushkin and Rantanen and Lehkonen, but they will. They're going to get they're going to get in order. That second line is looking strong, and so a prop for me is JT Compher, which is plus 225 for a goal prop. I just think they're the better team, and even though with their with their foibles, they're going to win this game, and they're going to win this game in regulation. So I'm on Colorado here. I am. Can you put up what is the last game of? Oh yeah, the Oilers and the Blues. What I like about this game is that the total is 6.5, but it's priced such that it's going to be a 5.5 right after the puck drops. So I'm going to be on the over, a live over on this game. And I know the recent history has been some low-scoring games. The Blues were in a 0-0 draw with Nashville, and a couple of low-scoring games in a row. But Edmonton just historically has been an over team, and St. Louis has also been historically an over team. So I like the over 5.5 in this game.
All right. IceX is happy that you're on Colorado, so he's not alone. Tim says boo, but come on, who would have expected any less? The other Tim, Tim Smith, says Sabres are not good. I'm torn on that because the Sabres have looked really good at times. I think they're inconsistent. I think they're going to be really good in the future. But yeah, I would agree that maybe they're not good yet, but they're scoring goals, which is huge.
They're going to be a cup contender in 2 years.
There you go. I understand the Avs look, Ryan. They've owned Buffalo historically, which they definitely have. Just seems like a wide line. I completely agree with that. They have absolutely owned Buffalo, but I see value with Buffalo at that big of a price. But we'll have to see what happens here.
Betting a number, not a team. Yeah.
Go ahead.
You're betting a number, not a team with the Sabres there at that big plus price tag. Is really where it's going at.
BetStamp. Use code WILD in the referral code section. Do your line shopping. Find the best odds for whatever you are betting on. If you want to find my premium plays or Nick and Tim's premium plays, the link is in the description below. I do have a 4.5 star play for the NFL tonight, which is available there. Cashed my 5-star play in the NHL yesterday. Very selective with those. Don't know when my next one will be out, but stay tuned for that. Best bets for today. Let's see. I'm going to go with Pittsburgh money line. Kachuk, game time decision. Whether he plays or not, this Penguins team is hot right now. And if I had to pick a game that I trust to win the most, I think it's the Penguins right now. Even against Florida, even with being Florida at home. If this was Spencer Knight, it would be a little bit of a different scenario. But even then, he's coming off injury. I'm guessing they want to give him another game. Bobrovsky off a shutout. He's not going to do that 2 games in a row. I expect some major regression tonight for him. So I like Pittsburgh Penguins as my best bet. Nick, best bet on the slate. What is your favorite bet of the day?
I'm going to go with the team that hasn't lost a regulation game in 15 in a row. Give me the Toronto Maple Leafs.
All right. Justin says, "What's good, Dave?" I think you're confused, but no Dave, but it's okay. Buffalo winning an under game, funny. Hey, it could happen. Good luck unless you're against me. There we go. Love the show, new fave. Hey, thanks for coming, Tim. Much appreciated to have you. And Leafs, there we go. Ryan, what is your best bet? Is it going to be the Rangers? Are you going to go against Nick for best bet, or is there another bet you like for your best bet on the slate?
Can I give out Devils Lightning parlay? It comes to -120.
Before, no, but now that I'm not doing all the tracking anymore, Heck yeah. Whatever is your best bet, your favorite bet of the slate, it's totally fine. So New Jersey and Tampa Bay money line, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, awesome. My fault, Terry. No, it's okay. I'm sure you just seen Dave on Nick's channel, so maybe thought that was it. But I'm definitely not Dave. That's for sure. Can't wait for hockey. Hurry up already. I know, like over 2 hours still.
I love these big slates.
I did Devils and Winnipeg parlay plus 120. Good luck to both of you. Seattle scares me. There we go. But that is today's show. Best of luck on your bets tonight. Hit the like button if you enjoy the content. Smash the like button if you hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Hit the like button if you enjoy the content. Appreciate all the support. Best of luck on your bets today. We'll see you again tomorrow. Small slate tomorrow. But it's Blackhawks against Wild Day. So, of course, we have to have a show. No, I'm kidding. But we'll see you again tomorrow. Best of luck, guys. Have a good one.